Guys, what's up? Zach Evanish here, undergroundstrengthcoach.com and zachevanish.com. So I want to show you guys a handful, an armful of books that I would have a new coach read, maybe somebody who's interning with me, what I would have them read. Let's get a little heat on in this place. Now, it's not an exhaustive list. The learning never ends. So when people are like, oh, how come you don't have this book or that book? Because I'm just giving you a sample. The learning legitimately never ends. What I also do is give the coach access to Underground Strength Academy. That's at undergroundstrengthcoach.com. I tell them basically every day, you should be researching and learning and reading and applying 1 hour each day. Now, as you can see, I've got bookshelves galore, and it doesn't end there. We've also got books here. We've got plenty of magazines in here, as well as in those boxes and plastic bin containers. More plastic bins down there. It never ends. So, same thing with seminars. Some people are like, oh, how could you learn from a certification? I don't do a certification. Good for you. I've never said that learning ends when a weekend certification is done. I started reading bodybuilding magazines before I even started working out. So I started working out in 87, push-ups in around 88. But I was reading my brother's bodybuilding magazines in the mid-80s. So I remember by the time I started exercising, I had a little bit of understanding of technique. Anyway, let me get back to these books that I wanted to share with you. And like I said, it's not an exhaustive not an exhaustive list. So let's see where I could prop this up. Hold on a second, guys. Prop it up like this. You guys should be able to see me. Okay, so take these books right here. A lot of books from my friend Josh Bryant. We got Grapple Strong right here. I love, the use of calisthenics, odd objects. It's something I talk about all the time, something I've been doing since 2001. My buddy Jim Steele's Boss Barbell Club, he has 2 ebooks, but what I did is I got them printed out and I put them together. We've got more of Josh Bryant's Jailhouse Strong. Basically get everything that Josh Bryant has. Become a member of the Underground Strength Academy. Okay, there's a lot of workouts here, progressions, regressions. This book might be a little bit over an intern's head. It might be a little bit kind of out of their knowledge base, but the beginning of the book talks so much about the coach's eye and, hey, why do you do this? Why do you do that? And the answer is consistently, it depends. And that's something they need to learn about. If you have any of Pavel Tsatsouline's older stuff when he was with Dragon Door, Power to the People Professional is amazing, as well as his Beyond Bodybuilding book. This is one of my favorite books, the Westside Barbell Book of Methods. In fact, before Louis had written any books, I went on his website, let's see if I can find it here, and printed out all of the Westside Barbell articles, and here it is. Westside Training, and a buddy of mine in Canada created a program called Blitz 16, 17 years ago. That was a great program, but I printed out all of the Westside articles. It's not just in that binder. I have so many binders where I've printed things out and put them in for my learning. I was never a fan of ebooks, although I know a lot of you people are, but even when I do buy an ebook, here's what I do. I print it out. First of all, what smells better than fresh paper or old books that when you open those old books, you hear them creaking and cracking as they open up. Bottom line is, guys, you got to learn. I've had some interns tell me they just couldn't grasp Louis' Westside information. I'll send them videos of him speaking, a lot of Matt Wenning videos, Matt Wenning's podcast. And the reason why I love what Louis Simmons always spoke about is he would talk to me, and I would call him on the phone every week in my early years as a teacher and strength conditioning coach, and we speak on the phone every week for 45 minutes. That's how I utilized my prep time as a physical education teacher. And Louis would tell me stories about training wrestlers, about training Kevin Randleman, about training early day guys in what was called no holds barred fighting. Today it's called mixed martial arts. He shared stories about how he was training youth athletes back then, and the stories gave me kind of like contextual information about, okay, now here's how and why that makes sense. Notice I did not give science and practice of strength and conditioning, because honestly, sometimes the science that's in a book, all of a sudden when you're training people, you're like, shit, I need 100 different variations of what I've just read. And sometimes when you're like too much by the books, you can't coach people. You're like a nerd that can't actually lift or coach. And so there's a lot of real world experience you people are missing. More books by Josh. And yes, some of these were gifted to me, but I've probably purchased over half of the books before Josh and I ever connected by phone, by email, so on and so forth. Out of respect for the coach. That's what I like to do. Let me take a quick scan, see if there's any other books. Well, first of all, I'd say here's some books that are very, very important. Not actual books, but the dinosaur training files. So I'm laying them out here. And this will be in the future Iron Roots podcast. That's on play.pro, Plae.pro. That's my podcast where I take you guys into the old school strength and conditioning, but these older training methods from the late 90s, early 2000s. Not a whole lot of photos in here, but there's a lot of classic reprints that I call them. Training with odd objects, training with, minimalist equipment, minimalist approach, lower volume. That stuff's great, so I give that stuff. Of course, it's a little bit buried under here. Show you guys. The Purposeful Primitive, right over there by Marty Gallagher. And then instead of just giving my coaches all of the books, I say, hey guys, go on Amazon and purchase these books used. So I try to empower them. If you give and give and give, a lot of people don't respect anything. So when you earn it, there's certainly a different respect you have for things. And then going inside the Underground Strength Academy, I've got all my original DVDs as streaming videos from ancient training methods, kettlebells for combat, kettlebell training for sport, dinosaur training, the book, super squats. I mean, these books that really are going to stand the test of time. Special Strengths by Louis Simmons, but books that are going to stand the test of time, like The Strongest Shall Survive by Bill Starr. A lot of young guys in their 20s don't even know where 5x5 originated from or the different ways you could implement 5x5. There's so much amazing stuff out there, and I hate to break it to you, not all of it is new. You're going to have to dig up the old stuff. And then there's other places that I'm going to recommend. I say go to Elite FTS every day and read a new article. Read an old article. Go back 10, 15 years ago and read something old on Elite FTS. Don't just read what you're reading today. What article has been posted today on Elite? No. Go back and find some older stuff. And just scanning my bookshelf. Things from Martin Rooney are great, as well as Martin Rooney's YouTube channel. Keys to Progress by John McCallum. The Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding by Arnold. Encyclopedia of Underground Strength by this guy. Let's see, anything else that I'm missing here? I said dinosaur training. Convict conditioning. The first one is certainly one of my favorites. Man. I think that's it. I think I'm calling it a day there. And when you go on my blog, Dan John, Never Let Go. Must have. When you go on my ZachEvanesh.com blog, as well as my YouTube channel, type in strength and condition. Just type in the search, type in books or strength conditioning books or powerlifting books. You will find a lot of stuff. If you're not a member of UndergroundStrengthCoach.com, you need to be, guys. That site's been kicking ass and taking names since 2005. Imagine how much information is in there. A lot. Use your imagination. It's coming out of my brain. All right, guys. Peace out. Zach Evanesh, ZachEvanesh.com. Hit the links below in this YouTube or Instagram video. I'm out.